Hello everyone, good evening. I am Sandylu of Life's Trades Coaching, your transformational business and life coach. And I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to join us, but I'm really excited about today's topic because we're going to talk about health and wellness, keeping it simple here with nutrition goddess LouLou. And so if you're on right now, as soon as you get on, tell me hello, give me a hi, a thumbs up, let me know that you're there. Let us know where you're joining us from, and to LouLou's viewers too as well. Welcome, I'm Sandylu of Life Trades Coaching, transformational business and life coach, here joining LouLou, the nutrition goddess, where we're going to talk about health and wellness.
Hi, beautiful souls. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Okay, so I see some of you are jumping on. So this is my first video where I'm going to be, we're in the kitchen. We're actually in LouLou's kitchen here in the city of Hacienda Heights. Is that correct? I don't even know. I was driving for an hour, but I'm here in her kitchen. And so you definitely want to stay to the end. This is definitely going to be a 30 to 45 minute video. So keep that in mind. If you are watching the replay, remember to share and also send us your comments, any questions that you have. We're always here to support and answer your questions. So if you're joining us right now, again, I'm Sandylu Life Trades Coaching, your transformational business and life coach with LouLou, the nutrition goddess. And so again, make sure that you join us all the way in our journey here, because LouLou is actually going to teach us how to do her juices, at least one juice, right? So she's gonna make it for us here live in her kitchen in the city of Hacienda Heights. So I'm really excited about this, LouLou, because this is like a constant battle, even for myself, and I know a lot of people that are constantly struggling with weight loss and you know, so much information that you don't even know. Sometimes it's overwhelming. You don't even know what step to take, which is the best step to take, right, or which is the simplest step to take, because we all have really busy lives. So because we have busy lives, sometimes it just feels quicker to go through drive-through at you know, one of those places that starts with an M and grab food right, that really doesn't serve our body. And not only that, like, I know it affects my energy, yes, my skin, like all these different things. In fact, yesterday I was kind of sharing a little bit. Someone complimented my skin, and I was like, oh, well, thank you. I go, but I'm having a little trouble because I kind of fell off the wagon. Sugar is my thing, so one of the things that I was challenged with was that. So anyway, thank you all for joining us. I'm here with my pad so I can see your comments, so I don't look like a weirdo looking at the screen like this. So, and I definitely want to say,
hi Jessica, thank you for joining us.
Want to say hi to you guys. Yay! And for some reason, let's see, where am I? It's not refreshing. Here we go. Okay. All right, so hi Elizabeth Gutierrez, okay, Maricela Limon. Who else did I see? It's not letting me know, but anyways, let us know that you're there. Give us a thumbs up, send us some hearts, some love. Angelica Argugio, hello my friend. We gotta talk. I want to have you in my group. Join me in one of these Facebook lives as well. So let's see. Maricela says yes. We all have busy lives. Can't wait to hear the menu. All right, so I'm here with LouLou, the nutrition goddess. She is a certified holistic health and wellness coach and a fitness motivator. And her passion for what she did started with her own some health challenges that she had about 15 years ago. And I could go ahead and tell you all her story, but I think it'll be better if you hear it from her. So I want to know. So LouLou, first of all, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. Yes,
so thank you for joining me, because this is when, you know, I'm all about empowering and motivating people and giving them different insight and perspective and knowledge and information. And so having you, I know we've been talking back and forth, and we've known each other many years ago, husband ago, for both of us, I think, right? Yes. But we reconnected through Facebook, so thank you for Facebook, because yes, it really allows us to connect with other people and use it in a purposeful and powerful way. So thank you for being here, because this is stuff that we all need and we could really use. So now I would like you to share with everyone, like, how your journey, like, what had you choose the journey of being into nutrition and health?
Well, Before I started this journey about 15 years ago. But before I started it, I was a mess. My health was a mess. I was always tired. My body was aching. I had no energy, and I had a bunch of health complications. I was getting sick every 2 to 3 months. I had a cold, a flu, and I had no idea what was going on. I kept going to the doctor, and they kept telling me that I'm as healthy as they come. I'm like, I'm not as healthy as they come. I feel horrible. I feel like I'm 100 years old. Everything hurts. My son, he was asthmatic. He was about 7 at the time, and he was asthmatic as well. His immune system was really weak, and I was taking him to the emergency room every month with his asthma attacks, trying to get him under control. So I was trying to find answers, and then a few years after that, the doctor told me that I had cancerous cells growing in my uterus. And so that scared me, because I was a single mom, and I wanted to be around for my son. So that's when, after the doctor told me that they were going to do procedures to do biopsies and get rid of the cells, I told the doctor to give me 6 months to figure this out. And she was worried that I wanted to delay the procedures. And when I left the doctor's office, I got in my car, I turned on the radio, and there was a nutritionist on the radio. It was like the universe telling me, this is what you need to do. This is what you're doing wrong. And from there, I started researching it. I went to the library. I started reading hundreds of books. And that's when I realized that it's what I was eating. I was not eating nutrients. I was not nourishing my body. My body was running on chemicals, not on food, not on vitamins, not on nutrients. So that's when I became a believer. I started changing everything. I went cold turkey on everything. I quit everything. I was addicted to soda. I was drinking 2-liter soda a day. I quit it cold turkey.
Wow, that's a lot of soda.
That was a lot
I thought I was bad.
But that was really hard to do. The first 2 weeks of when you quit something like that is really difficult, because your body is addicted to it. But I went clean eating, and after 6 months, I went back to a doctor, and she ran tests, and the cancer cells were gone. So that's when I realized that is what I was doing wrong, and that makes a big difference. What we fuel our body with makes a big difference. Our body is like a car. If you give the car, you put oil where the gasoline is supposed to be, it's not going to run. It's going to break down, and that's what we're doing when we're feeding our body chemicals. So yes, that's how my journey started, and now my passion is to help everyone else with the information that I've gathered through all of my research and my own experience.
Wow, that's really an interesting story, because you hear about these kind of things all the time, and sometimes we are looking for that cure, that quick fix, that quick cure, that quick pill, that vitamin, etc. Right. But a lot of things are processed. I think we don't realize how much things are processed, and a lot of it is to keep it contained so that it could last longer, the shelf life lasts longer, and we don't realize that sometimes that's all we're feeding your body. I remember a while back, I lived across the street from that place with the big M, and I worked across the street from the place with the big M, and I was on the road all the time, so I would eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like almost on a regular basis. So one time they told me my cholesterol was over 500. I was lucky I didn't have a heart attack, and so of course I made some changes, and I'm constantly looking to make changes, and a little bit here, a little bit there, and I think that's one of the reasons I was like, I want to, for me, and I know a lot of my friends out there, I'm 43, things are changing. My body's changing, the hormones are changing, and I don't know about you guys, but I still want to have a lot of energy and feel youthful, and I know I've been struggling with energy. So that's why I started your juices in the morning, which I'm really
How are you feeling with them?
Good. I mean, I've been having a little hormonal, monthly visit thing, but it's definitely not the same like it normally was. So yesterday I did the first juice, today I did the second juice, and it was great. It was. So I'm looking forward to the process, because I know that I've done it before, but now having you with your support, it just makes the process a little bit easier. Because sometimes we need accountability. We need someone that's just checking how is it doing, how's it working for you, that kind of stuff. And so we gotta use the information that's available to us. So I'm so thankful that you're here. I'm gonna say hi to a few of you when that are on. Remember to share. So press the share button while you're on right now. Share, and if you're watching later, make sure that you share. This is information that could really change and alter the course of your life, your health. I mean, she talked about how not only did it take away her cancerous cells. I mean, that's hardcore, right? But even her kids that were suffering with asthma, they went from having a monthly. You said they were having asthma attacks every month.
They were in the emergency room. That's how bad the attacks were every month. And after I started changing their eating habits and implementing the green juice, my son, 15 years later, he's only had about 4 throughout those 15 years. So.
Wow, that's like a big difference. It's a big difference. I know sometimes we don't want to, it seems like a lot of work, but think about it. If you have a loved one that suffers with asthma and you could make these subtle changes and they don't have these asthma attacks, I mean, from 1 a month to 4 in 15 years, that's pretty crazy, you guys. Like, healthy eating does make a huge difference. That's hardcore. I mean, because I know some of my friends' kids have asthma. So I hope you're all listening. Make sure you share. You guys know who you are. You know who you are. I'm not pointing fingers, but you know who you are. All right, so I want to say hi to a few people, and then we could continue. Okay. And guys, send us your questions. If there's something specific that you want to know, please let us know. Okay. All right, so I want to say hi to Elodia. Hi, Elodia. She was really looking for, I met her this weekend. She's amazing, and she's really looking forward to hearing about the juicing, because she actually does juices for her siblings.
Oh, that's great.
And one of the questions, in fact, and maybe you could address this now that I'm asking you, like, how many fruits should you put in a juice? Because I think sometimes we think because it's a fruit that it's okay to put it in our juices all the time. So how many should you put in a juice?
That is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people do when they're juicing or making smoothies. We should limit it to one fruit per juice, and it should be a fruit that is low glycemic, low in sugar. When we use more than one fruit, what we're actually doing is we're creating fatty liver. Fatty liver is something that's usually developed when somebody is an alcoholic, but because of the amount of sugar that these fruits have, and by blending it or juicing it, we're removing the fiber. That sugar goes straight to the liver, and the liver has to process it to turn it into glucose, because it's actually toxic as fructose. It's like drinking high fructose corn syrup. That's what you're doing when you're adding more than one fruit to your juice. So you're doing more harm than good. So it's one fruit, and it's a fruit that's low in sugar.
So what fruits do you suggest?
A green apple, red apple, berries. All the berries are low in sugar, and the apples, those are the lowest in sugar.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Yeah, and I know my juice is not very sweet. In fact, it's very, very not sweet. I'm not gonna say it's like, wow, it's delicious. I'd be lying, but I do feel good knowing that I'm making sure that at a minimum I'm doing that one good thing for my body.
Oh, yes.
Like, and that makes me feel at ease. Like I'm being proactive, and so you guys got it. One fruit, only one fruit in your juice.
What I tell some of my clients, because some of them really don't like the flavor of the vegetables, is not used to it. It could be bitter. The flavor is bitter for a purpose. The more bitter the vegetables and the herbs, the better it is for the body and to detox the liver. But some of them are like, well, I don't really like what it tastes like. It's too bitter. Well, medication is not good. When you go to the doctor and you have all these illnesses and they give you medication, most of them are not very, tasty. But you still have to take it because it's going to make you feel better. It's going to improve your condition. Well, the same thing with green juice. Don't compare it to soda. Don't compare it to one of your favorite drinks. Look at it as your medication. It's something that's going to improve your health.
Yeah, and you know what I did last time? I downed it, right? Hey, you guys down beer, you down tequila, and all these other things. Like if it's something that you're not too crazy about, just know that this thing that you're downing is good for your body, right? It's like it's like
if you can down a shot of tequila for the effects, you can down some green juice.
Yes, exactly. You can. I know. It's a crazy analogy, but you guys know. I know you guys. I know you. Hey, I know. So let me say hi to. All right. So I know. Elodia, she's Viva La Paz. She's like, oh my gosh, I've been over sugaring my family. Yes, Elodia, well that's good. I'm glad that you're on. And Elodia's awesome. She's amazing.
Hi Sally, thank you for joining.
All right. Yeah, so can you see your viewers from here?
I can kind of see.
Hi, Sally.
I'm sorry if I missed some of you because my phone is a little far. I can barely see who's on there. But say hi if you have any questions.
Yeah, and let's see. Carol says, eat half of what you want. No diet needed. Cheers. What do you think about that? Because I know sometimes you'll have a meal that is probably questionable, right? Or a drink.
Right. I don't, I'm not the type of nutritionist or health coach that believes in deprivation. I don't believe in depriving yourself. I have an 80-20 rule, which is 80% of what's good for you and 20% of what makes your soul happy. Because there's no way anybody's going to be able to follow this 100%. It's just not sustainable. So if 80% of the time you're nourishing your body with healthy stuff, then 20% of the time you can eat whatever you enjoy. And that's what's key. That's what's going to make you keep doing it. Because if you try to do it 100%, try to do it perfect, it's not going to work. You're going to give up. You're going to get discouraged.
Okay, great. That's good. So you got it, 80-20. 80% of the time you're healthy, 20% you're having some extra fun, right?
It's important to nourish the soul also. So it's what makes you happy as well, but not overdoing it. 20% and 80% healthy.
Yeah, you don't want to let food be your happy thing all the time. You know, I know I have my happy food, but food is not my happiness. So, you know, it's also about the mind too. It's not just, you know, like she made some changes because she knew that there's some changes she needed to make. So part of it was a mindset, and the other part was a commitment to being healthy.
Right.
And that makes all the difference. That makes all the difference because it's like a miracle that you were able to do something like that. You hear it, but you know, you don't always know the person, so you're like, I don't know, you know. But when you know, it's like, hey, here's a living proof of a human being that I'm with. That, you know, you guys know me. That it does work, that it does make a difference. All right, so Ishmael, hi Ishmael. Hello Angie, Sarah, Eduardo Meriojas, Carlos Zambrano, Myrna Isabel Luton, Louis Chavez, and let's see, Cristo's actually really big about eating healthy too.
Oh, that's great.
She's really good about eating healthy, and she's always showing how her son is always eating healthy. She shows pictures, which is really, really awesome, and I think like it becomes a lifestyle. I know for us it's hard. It's been harder because we were brought up Mexican with all the fatty food, manteca, lard. You know, the beans with lard, like they're the best, but they're the worst for the heart, right? And if you already start teaching them as a child, then it becomes their norm. They don't have to think about it, like and what do you call it? Convince themselves that they love the salad. They actually do.
Yeah, it becomes a lifestyle. My daughter was born after I had already been living a clean eating lifestyle, and because that's all she knows. She was never fed junk food, so it's easy for her to eat the healthy foods. She's never drank a soda in her life, and she's 11 years old. So it's the way we raise them and what we get them used to. The more junk we feed them, the more their body is going to become addicted to it, and the harder it's going to be to change those habits. So starting them off as early as possible is key.
Definitely. I'm glad that you said that, and I love that you shared about your kids, because I think that people don't realize that. I mean, as a parent, you really do have a responsibility to your child in so many levels, even what they eat. So you want to be mindful of what are you feeding your child. What are you teaching them, even on what they're eating, what you're buying in your house? If you're the one who buys the groceries, if they're eating cookies all the time, well, just know that you know you're the one that is feeding them these cookies. You know, like that's the reality. And I'm not here to beat up on you. And I know that part of our being a parent is like, you want your kids to be happy and you want them to have fun and play and have all the things that they want. But sometimes we give them more than they should be getting, and then we give them too many sweets that they should giving, and etc. So simple little changes, like she said, 80-20. 80-20. And let's say hi to Tony Kobar. Hey Tony. Tony's in Sunnyvale, California by San Jose. Tony Kobar. Joanne, my sister-in-law in Eastvale. Hey Joanne.
I want to acknowledge Sally. She's saying that today's her first day back on green juice. That's
All
awesome,
right,
Sally.
all right, Sally. All
I'm
right.
happy to hear that. That's great.
That's really great. All right. Marina Elizabeth. Hey, Marina, you're on. I'm glad you were on last night with me. And Viva La Paz is awesome. Thanks. That's what I do. Janet Jung. She's also one of my best friends. She has a little baby in the oven right now. Patty Dominguez. She's one of the co-authors of the book that I authored, and she's in Chicago. Okay, so she's watching us from Chicago. Rochelle Schaefer. She's awesome too. She's a master leader. She's out there making a difference. Very talented. My goddaughter Lilani Jimenez. Hello, Lilani, and she's a talented makeup artist and a bunch of other amazing things. But anyway, thank you guys for being on. So, you know what I was noticing that your logo is a caterpillar, an apple, and a butterfly. Like, what's the meaning behind that?
The reason why I chose that logo, I designed that logo because just like I transform myself, transform my health, my goal with my clients is to get them to transform their health. So we start off as a caterpillar when we're lost and we don't know how to take back control of our health, take back control of our emotions and our soul. And the apple is the symbol for nourishing our body, health, and mind. And once we nourish our body, health, and mind, we will end up as a butterfly, and you know, we develop our wings, and that's when you know, the transformation happens. So it's all a symbolic logo for transforming ourselves into a butterfly from a caterpillar by nourishing our body and our mind and our soul with the right nutrients and the right thoughts.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I'm all about transformation, right? So the butterfly has such big significance for me too, because I feel like I lived in darkness for a very long time, you know, being, you know, like the caterpillar. And then I finally like found me, you know, I found who I really am authentically, and just like embrace my colors, all of them, you know, and just free to fly, free to fly. So here you have an opportunity to take these tips on that LouLou is giving you so that you could transform your health. If you transform your health, you're going to transform your life in many different areas. You'll see. Just like all the tips and information I give you about positive thinking, about the power of choice, about being in ownership of your life, everything, like it's all about you choosing constantly what you want to create, what you're committed to, and what you want in your life. So, so do you want to go ahead and, well, even before you do your juices, actually share with me some of the stuff so maybe you could tell them a little bit what you do with your clients that you work with, and then we'll share the juice. We'll show them how to do a juice.
As a holistic health and wellness coach, a lot of people don't know what holistic health is, and holistic health is a form of healing that it considers the entire body as a whole. The physical part, the body, the mind, the emotions, and the spiritual side. And sometimes we're out of balance and we don't know which part is out of balance. So my job as a holistic health and wellness coach is to guide my clients into figuring out which part is out of balance, and then I put together a plan so that we can get it back into balance. Because sometimes if your emotions are out of balance, even if you have all the information about what are the right foods to eat and when to eat them, if your emotions are not in balance, you're not going to have the will or the motivation to do it. Also, the spiritual side, it's very important to nourish the spiritual side, because if that's out of balance, that also affects our life and our decisions. So as a health and wellness coach, that's what I do. I work with clients one-on-one, and I also have online programs where I guide them and I teach them the tools to help them get their whole body back in balance with the right tools, the right foods, the right exercise, the right affirmations, the right thoughts, and by also going to their higher power, whoever it is, whatever it is. Everybody has a different higher power, so all of that is important.
All right, and so I know, and you'll share a little bit with them about your actual programs after we do the juice. So,
yes.
So yes, you guys. So remember that everything is a choice. You know, everything is a choice, and our mindset, our relationship with ourselves, what we eat, what we put into our body. You know, all those different things do influence our overall life, you know, like how we live and what we manifest, what we create, what we attract, and for abundant living, we got to be aware of these things and seek the support when needed. I know I told her that one of the challenges I have is I love sugar. Sugar is my go-to happy, stress food, sad food, you name it. Sugar is my thing. Chocolate cake, yes. To be specific, chocolate cake and Coke, and energy is one of the things I've been challenged with for a while. So the juices that I got from her are specifically to take away the sweets craving. And you know what I've noticed? It's kind of crazy. It's only been 2 days, but I noticed a difference given that it's a monthly visit. I usually want Coke and cake so desperately, and I actually don't.
But you know what happens
so weird
with chocolate? A lot of people crave chocolate, but they don't realize they're craving chocolate because their body is low in magnesium. Chocolate has a lot of magnesium. So if you're craving chocolate, your body is low in magnesium. And I actually recommend that my clients eat chocolate, but it has to be the right kind of chocolate. Cacao, dark chocolate, and so that you can bring your magnesium levels
What
up.
percent do you recommend? Because I know I actually have like a bar, but the thing about dark chocolate that I love is I could have a little square and it takes away my craving for more.
Yes, about 90%.
90%
or higher.
Okay. See, ladies, I know because
I always buy about 5 dark chocolate covered almonds for that time of the month, and because I crave it also. But that's just an indication that our magnesium levels are low. But don't think that you can't have the chocolate. The chocolate is actually good. Just have the right kind of chocolate.
Got it. So with 90% cacao. So you want to make sure that if you're going to eat chocolate, especially during those times of the month, right, ladies? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do a juice. I'm going to say hi to Raquel. Lorene Lopez says sounds awesome. And to Paco Limon and Maricela Talamantes. All right, so we're gonna do so please bear with me. I'm gonna move the camera. I'm gonna hold it while LouLou shows us a demonstration of one of her juices. So bear with us.
Before I do the demonstration, I want to touch on some key tips on the juice. Is one of the my favorite way of getting healthier and rebalancing your body. And if you're suffering from digestive problems, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, gout, depression, obesity, green juice is the best way to reset your body. But I want to give you a few tips that don't involve green juice that are also important for you to reset your body. Every illness out there, including obesity and cancer, has 3 root things. Those 3 root things are toxicity, means there's too many toxins in the body. Inflammation, more people are learning about inflammation because there's more information out there now. Some parts of our body should not have inflammation, so turmeric root and ginger root are great to bring down that inflammation. But the third thing that a lot of people don't know about, and it's not really talked about, is acidosis. Acidosis is buildup of acid in our body. Our body should be more alkaline, which is the opposite of acidic. Disease, illnesses, and especially cancer grow in a body that's acidic. And our blood doesn't flow right if our body is acidic. Our blood's job is to move the oxygen throughout our body. So if we have high amounts of acid, the oxygen is not gonna go where it needs to go, and that's where we start feeling fatigued and tired, and we're not feeling well because we're not getting the oxygen that we need because our body is high in acid. They sell some pH test strips at any pharmacy or CVS that you can test how acidic your body is. If you just test it with the saliva, your body should be at 7.35. If it's anything lower than that, you're too acidic. And there's green juice is the best way to bring down the acid levels in the body because the raw plants foods are high in the mineral that makes the body alkaline. So I wanted to just touch base on the acidosis because a lot of people don't know that that's where all the illness is, the obesity. If you have high levels of acid in your body, no matter what you do, you're not going to lose weight. So the acid levels are key for improving any health and for losing weight. But I'm going to give you 6 quick tips on how to take back control of your health, how to get rid of any of those illnesses that you're suffering from, any of those health challenges. And if you want to lose weight, all of these tips are very helpful. Tip number 1 is to get rid of any processed food. Processed food is anything that has more than one ingredient. So anything that's packaged, anything that is refined, anything that's white. The whiter the bread, white flour, white sugar, all of that is poison for the body. Processed food is anything that has more than one ingredient. So you want to stick to one ingredient foods. Fish, that's one ingredient. Chicken, that's one ingredient. Meat, that's one ingredient. Nuts, that's one ingredient. Apple, that's one ingredient. Avocado, that's one ingredient. So one ingredient foods are what you want to eat. And just with that alone, you'll start seeing a difference. The second thing that I recommend that my clients start doing is drinking the proper amount of water. A lot of people are walking around dehydrated. They don't realize that they're dehydrated. They're fatigued, and they don't know it's because they're dehydrated. They feel hungry, they have cravings, and in reality, it's not that they're hungry or they have cravings, it's that they're dehydrated. The body needs water. The body is asking for water. A lot of the bloating that we get around our stomach, it's because we're dehydrated. We're not drinking enough water. So if you're experiencing bloating, drink more water. The formula is to drink half of what we weigh in ounces of water per day. That's how much water we should be drinking. So for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water a day. The only exception is if you calculate it and it comes out to more than 3 liters, don't drink more than 3 liters a day. It could be counterproductive. So 3 liters is the limit, but for anyone else, calculate it according to what you weigh. Half of the amount of ounces is the amount of water that your body needs every day. The third tip that I give my clients to improve their health and to lose weight is drink warm water with lemon every morning as soon as you wake up on an empty stomach. If you go to my Facebook page, I posted a video where I explained that in more detail, the benefits and why it's important. So if you go to my Facebook page, LouLou Nutrition Goddess, you can search for that video and it gives you more information on that. Sleep also. It's very important that we get at least 7 hours of sleep because when we don't have enough sleep, not only are we tired, but we make bad food choices. Our body is asking for something that's going to give it energy, and what gives it energy quick is refined foods, pastry, sugar, so we're going to make bad food choices. Also, when we're lacking sleep, it interferes with the hormone that tells our brain that we're full, that we ate enough, so we end up eating more than we usually do when we didn't get enough sleep. So that's another thing for weight loss. Breakfast. Do not skip breakfast. A lot of people think it's not that important, or that they'll end up eating less calories throughout the day if they skip breakfast. That's a big mistake. Skipping breakfast is going to make you crave sugar, refined foods, and breakfast is the reason why it's called breakfast is because it's breaking the fast to when we were sleeping. That's where the name came from. It's breaking the fast. So we need to break the fast. Make sure that your breakfast contains protein and good fats that will fuel your brain, give you energy, reduce your cravings, and reduce your hunger. Whatever food you start your mornings with, that's what's going to set the tone for the foods for the rest of the day. So protein, good fats. Don't start your breakfast with high carb foods, bread, pancakes, sugar, because that's only going to set the tone for you to continue eating that throughout the day, and you're not going to burn fat. So breakfast, and the raw vegetables is key, so that where green juice comes into play and allows you to do that. Implement more raw vegetables. Protein and good fats. All of your meals should have good quality protein and good fats. Focus on the good fats. Don't be afraid of fats. The body needs fats to burn fat. So the good fats is avocado, nuts, avocado oil, coconut oil. Implement more of that into your meals so that you can start burning fat. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the green juice because I think it's key to implement green juice so you can get the green vegetables into your body so that it can become less acidic and more alkaline.
All right, great. All right, so definitely. So you guys don't forget to share. Remember to share, and that's really great information. There's such simple little tips, simple little changes. Like I'm just hearing hot water with lemon in the morning. Like really, how hard is that? Think about it. Don't we like sometimes I warm up water for coffee. I don't do like a whole pot, like but and sometimes I do green tea in the morning. But I mean, I already warm up the water. I've been doing now is the water in my lemon, or lemon in my water.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, because I heard that it does help alkalize the water too. Yes, exactly.
It's really great.
Simple little tip, guys. They're really simple. Okay, so join me as I'm also making these changes as well and implementing these changes in my life as well as I transform my body. It's a process, but we don't have to do it alone. And then we have our nutrition goddess here to guide us. Okay, so I'm gonna be moving the camera around and you know what? Let me say hi to some of your people because we don't want them to feel like. Okay, I see. There was Rosie.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Rosie. Erasmo, Yvette, Anna, let's see, Grace. All right, guys.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining us, and remember to share. So all you viewers that are viewing from LouLou's Facebook page, remember to share. Sharing is caring. This is insightful information that people can use to transform their life, to transform their health. And Abel, okay. All right, guys. Carolina Chavez says, hello, Sandylu. Thank you. You're welcome, Carolina. Thank you for following and for joining us. Maria Zuniga, Amanda Bourne, thank you for joining us as well. And I'm going to move the camera, at least one of them, right? Let's see. Hopefully we won't knock one down. So patience, my people, so that you can see. I'm going to turn it around for a moment here. As LouLou does her juice, and she shows us what products she's using.
Okay, I'm going to start off. I have a Vitamix blender. These juices are made with a blender, not with a juicer. The reason why I recommend using a blender is because we benefit from the fiber in these vegetables. So stick to a juicer. If you don't have a powerful blender like the Vitamix, it's okay, you can still juice it. It's just going to take a little bit more elbow work to get these vegetables to blend. I'm going to do this as if this is not a powerful blender, just for those that don't have a powerful blender. If your blender is not as powerful, you start by putting the water in the blender first. This helps the blade when it's going to start doing the chopping motion. So you put a little bit of water in the blender first before you start putting the vegetables in. This way it'll help you blend everything properly. I add lemon. Every juice that you make, this is key ingredient that should be part of every juice. Doesn't matter what other ingredients you're going to use. Lemon is very, creates an alkaline body. A lot of people get confused because they think it's acidic and it's going to create more acid in the body. It's actually the opposite. As soon as we consume lemon, it becomes alkaline in the body. So lemon is great. It's great for the skin. It's great for the digestive system. It's great for the immune system. Another thing that I like to add is spinach. This is about a handful of spinach. It's great for the immune system also. It also great anti-cancer properties and for the bones. And so you add the spinach, celery. Celery, if you see, the celery is shaped like our bones, which means it's great for the bones. It's high in water content. So I always recommend that you use one or two vegetables that are high in water content. This makes it a natural diuretic. This way, if you have water retention, this is great for that. There's a lot of, if you have joint pain, this is great. Always make sure to.
So like someone that has like lupus or arthritis of any kind, that would be.
Any kind of joint pain, make sure you always include celery. I do 4 celery stalks in the juice. Also for people who suffer from migraines and headaches, celery is awesome.
Oh, that's really great because I know
celery stalks. So
yeah.
I put them all in here. I chop them up a little, like I said, if your blender is not as powerful, you want to help it out by chopping some of your vegetables.
You can use a like something like a NutriBullet as well.
Yes,
if you have.
NutriBullet is probably one of the most economical ones that you can use, and it's very effective as well. And asparagus. Asparagus is also great for the immune system, antioxidant. A lot of these vegetables, asparagus, spinach, celery, are negative calorie vegetables. What that means is that the body uses more calories to metabolize and digest these than the calories that they have. So you end up losing weight because you're burning more calories than what you're consuming, because it's doing the extra work of burning extra calories. So they're called negative calories.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So
and that's asparagus.
This is asparagus. So it's about a cup of asparagus. Ginger. As I mentioned earlier, ginger is great for inflammation and the digestive system. It brings down the inflammation. Turmeric root. Turmeric root is also great for inflammation and for pain, and it has a bunch of anti-cancer properties. This is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a ginger, but it's a little bit more orange. If you can't find turmeric root at whatever grocery store you go to, if you find it in the powder form, that's fine. Do about 2 or 3 tablespoons of the powder form or a root of the turmeric root. Kale. Kale is a super green. It has a bunch of nutrients. Great for the digestive system. It's great for the immune system. Some people don't know what kale looks like. It kind of looks like a romaine lettuce, but it's kind of wrinkly, like dinosaur skin. I don't know how to describe this, but it's a dark green.
There's different kinds of kale, right?
There's about 3 or 4 different kinds of kale. It doesn't make a difference. They're all superfoods, and they all have great antioxidants and great nutrients. So either any kale that you find at the supermarket will work. Dandelion. Dandelion is an herb. I don't know if you guys remember those little flower-looking things that you saw in your yard when you were playing as kids, that you blow on it and it releases all the white little things. Well, those things are not weeds. They're actually, it's a superfood that's great for our body. And this dandelion is great for the hormones. People that are suffering from hormonal problems. Dandelion is great. Liver, it's a great detox for the liver.
They're good for the thyroid as well.
It's great for the thyroid. It's great for the immune system. It's one of my favorite ones that I always like to include in my juices. It's a little bitter, but the more bitter the herb, that means the more nutrients and the more benefits it has. Cucumber. If you're going to use a cucumber, if it's organic, keep the skin. All the nutrients are in the skin. If it's not organic, peel the skin off, because there's a lot of pesticides that you don't want to add to your juice. Cucumber is great for the skin, the hair. If you want longer hair, stronger hair, skin, it's also high in water. It's 95% water content, so it's great for as a diuretic also. And the fruit that I'm using today is pineapple. Pineapple helps with the digestive system, and it has an enzyme called bromelain, which is great for pain and for reducing inflammation and helping digest all of these nutrients. The reason why I'm choosing these vegetables for today is because I want to demonstrate this is what I call the beginner's green juice. This is for people that are just starting off with juicing, because these vegetables are easy to digest. They're high in water content and are not so difficult to digest because the fiber is not so high in fiber. When you're just starting off with making green juices, a lot of people's mistake is that they use the vegetables that are very hard to digest, and their digestive system is not used to it yet. So it turns them off because they get bloated or gassy, and they're like, I can't do green juice because I'm bloated and gassy after I drink it. Well, it's because you chose the wrong vegetables. Your system was not ready for those yet. These that I just demonstrated are the best for people that are not used to juicing or really don't eat vegetables. And so once we put all of this in the blender, now we add the rest of the water. I fill up the blender to the top because otherwise you're going to end up with a thick, very thick juice, chunky juice, and so you want it to be as liquefied as possible so that it can be appealing. So once you fill up the blender to the top with water, you blend it, and I don't know if I want to blend it and make all that noise right now, but I recommend that when you drink green juice, you drink it on an empty stomach. That's another mistake that people make, is that they drink green juice after they ate a meal. That we want to have an empty stomach so that we can absorb the nutrients, and it's easier to digest. If you eat it after you're full, after you eat some food and there's other food in your digestive system, in your intestines, you're not going to absorb the nutrients from this juice. You're not going to feel the benefits. So on an empty stomach, either as soon as you wake up, or before lunch, or before dinner, or you can also have it as a meal replacement. It could be like your liquid salad. For people that get turned off by eating salads, this is your liquid salad. So you drink this and then have some protein, some fish, some chicken. This is a great way to implement more vegetables into your meals, and it's a great way for people who want to lose weight. This is very effective. So I think that's pretty much.
All right, I'm going to move the camera for a moment so you can see me. I know you guys are hearing me. All right. So is that some great information? I mean, like, really, it's pretty simple. And if you have a family, if it's not just, I know sometimes, you know, if you have a family, you don't have to, you could make one of these big ones. And how much does this actually, like this one in particular, how many cups does it make?
This makes about 4 16-ounce mason jars. If you're gonna, what you can do is, which is what I do, is I make a blender full, and then I fill up the 4 mason jars and I freeze them. That way, if you don't have time in the morning to make it every morning or every evening, you can make, you know, 1 blender full, which will give you 4 juices. I recommend mason jars because of the lid. It's a tight sealed lid, and so that holds all the nutrients in the with the lid. Freeze it if you're not going to drink it right away, because the freezing process will conserve the nutrients. If you don't freeze it, it's only good for about 2 days. That's it. And then the nutrients are gone. So that's one of my tips that I give my clients, is to freeze them. That way they don't have the excuse that they don't have time to make it. You can make a whole batch on the weekends, prep your meals, make a batch of green juice, put them in the freezer, and grab one every day when you head out the door.
All right, yeah, and actually, and that's very convenient. I know I actually ordered like 7 days worth of the morning green juices from LouLou, and it's very convenient, like really super convenient, because I just know I already defrost one overnight, and then I already have it ready, and it's like I don't have to stop and cook or do anything. Like, that's my morning. Right. I already know I'm having, and it just feels good to know. I don't know, but just mentally, it just feels good to know that I'm already starting my day off in a healthy start. It also makes me very conscious of what I'm doing the rest of the day. It just changes things.
It does.
Subtle changes make huge transformation. And even in the work that I do as a coach, mindset, sometimes we feel overwhelmed. We think we have to do so many different things to change our life, our outlook, etc. But subtle changes could drastically transform your life, and yes, this is definitely one of them. So I really appreciate you sharing this information. Very informative, extremely informative, and I like for people to be able to get in contact with you, and maybe tell them about your. I know you have an online program that's going to start soon. It's teaching them how to do. Right. Go ahead, teacher. I'm not going to say you know what you got.
I have a Spring into Health with Green Juice journey that's coming up May 15th. And basically that journey is a 7-day journey where I will teach you something similar to what I just demonstrated, but with more detail on the fruits that you should use, what fruits to avoid, what vegetables to avoid, because not every vegetable is actually good to juice, and you know, tips on how to make this a easier way to implement into your lifestyle. I created 10 different recipes for certain health conditions, and also a kid-friendly recipe that I would be sharing. So it's a 7-day journey where I'll be guiding you to making this part of your life, a new lifestyle for you. So you can sign up for that journey through my website, LouLouNutritionGoddess.com. It starts May 15th. That's the first phase of my journey. My transformation health journeys are 3-phase journeys. It's the green juice journey, which is the first step to resetting and rebooting your health and getting your ideal weight. The second phase is the clean eating journey, and then the third phase is the weight loss journey. Every change is a process. It can't be done all in one step, so it's overwhelming. So with my journey, I teach you how to make this a new lifestyle. This is not a quick fix. This is not a diet. This is a new lifestyle. I teach you all the tools and all the information. I share all the knowledge that I've learned in my 15 years of clean eating, and so by the time you're done with the journey, you pretty much know everything I know. It becomes easy for you to just make this your new lifestyle. So you can sign up at LouLouNutritionGoddess.com. When you sign up for the green juice journey, you will qualify for a discount for the next 2 journeys that are coming up in the summer. So look out for those as well. If you have any questions, you can contact me at LouLouNutrition@AOL.com. Follow my Facebook page. I'm always posting motivation and health tips on my Facebook page, LouLou Nutrition Goddess on Facebook or Instagram. My whole goal and my whole mission is to motivate you and give you the tools so that you can start making changes for your health and your weight, and getting your whole body balanced so that you can live a healthier lifestyle.
All right, great. So it's a great program. This is great information. She's read tons of books. She's certified, and she's living proof that how we eat does change our health. I mean, from curing, getting rid of your own cancerous cells to your kids not having asthma attacks from 1 a month to 4 and 15 years.
Yes.
Like, that's really drastic. So she knows what she's talking about. She's experienced. She doesn't just talk it, she lives it. So you definitely, if you're going to work with someone that has knowledge and experience, and also is living it. So I thank you all for joining us. Like I said, this was not going to be a very quick program, and really it's more of a program versus a quick, like, let me give you some information, because the idea is really to give, for me, my idea here, my purpose of doing this program, and it really is a program, and I'm still working on identifying it as a show, something that you get to follow and watch maybe once a week. Your input, your feedback, your ideas, what you want to hear. I want to know what information do you need, or maybe you have a message that you want to share with people, that maybe you want to share your story that's going to empower, motivate people in their life in some form or way, whether it's your business, how you thrived, how you struggled, all those things, your health, your relationships, your divorce, whatever message that you might have. And I already talked to Jules Hurst, which is an etiquette coach. Very cool stuff.
That's great.
So I'm going to be coordinating with her to have her on so she could teach us some etiquette. Sometimes we go to these fancy places or business events, and we don't know what fork to use, right? We don't know what fork to use, and just even how to, there's like things about how to pass the bread,
right.
and it gets really, it's very technical, but we want to be able to be like a chameleon. Was it a chameleon? You just kind of adjust to the environments where we don't feel like you're gonna grab the meat with your hand and stuff like that. So anyway,
that's great just information to have.
Yeah, and that's just one of the people that I will be having, and I already know because we already talked. It's just a matter of scheduling it in. But so let me know, what do you want to hear? What information do you need? What would you like me to talk about? I know one thing that I do want to talk about, because it's something that I for some reason I'm always around it, and it's the struggle with Alzheimer's and dementia. How does the family deal with it, and the challenges? I used to do low-income housing with seniors. I saw a lot of that, and I know friends that are in that are going through this right now, and the challenge, and so given all the information I from what I experienced, I give them a little bit of tips and stuff like that that will kind of help the situation. But there's so much information I want to give you and empower you to, change your life. To not to say your life is bad, but there's always another level of amazing, right? So send me your tips, send me your feedback, send me your questions. If there's anything in particular that you want to hear about, please let me know. I'm here to serve you, to give you and support you in creating an amazing life. Let's see.
Before we go, I want to address the beautiful souls on my page. I apologize if I didn't acknowledge some of you. It's hard for me to see from here. But if you have any questions, type them in right below this video, and I will go back in there after the live feed, and I will answer any questions that you have. Also, I would thank you for joining us. If you are interested in joining the Green Juice Journey, remember to send me a message or go into my website, LouLouNutritionGoddess.com. And remember, love yourself, feed your soul, and drink green juice.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for everybody that joined us. I know Angelica says thank you, ladies. Very helpful information. I really, it's up to you to use it. We could give you all the information. It's up to you to take action and be committed to being healthy. Adelina Lopez says, hi girls, can you please post this recipe on your page? Thank you.
Sure.
So if you can post this recipe, and remember to share, guys. Even though it's already ending, share, because this is valuable information. People could see it later. And also subscribe to our pages. So LouLou Tovar and Sandylu Guerrero, those are our pages. Subscribe to our pages at the end, so that way whenever we post something new, you can be alerted. And remember, if you can't watch it at the moment, that's okay. You could always go to our page and watch it later. Or even if you don't have time to watch it, you could listen to it while you're cooking and you're cleaning and you're making your juices and bathing the kids and etc. We're keeping it PG, so don't worry.
Just one clarification. My page is LouLou Nutrition Goddess. LouLou Nutrition Goddess.
LouLou Nutrition Goddess. All right, and so awesome. Thank you, Alex Travis. All right, so have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you for listening in, for joining us. Remember, we're here to serve, and your feedback, your suggestions, I greatly appreciate them. I will be doing a lot more of these, like I said, with other people that are doing extraordinary things, and it's all about transformation, transforming your life, and giving you things that are going to make life simple and easy.
Yes.
Right? Keep it super simple. KISS. Remember that. So thank you once again. Have a wonderful evening. Remember that you have the power to choose how you want to live your life from moment to moment. You have a choice. Have a great evening, everybody.
Good night,
That's
beautiful souls.
Good night.